And back to the Crypto Hulk Show. Got a deep dive show today. We got a couple, about one solid deep dive, and we might have another one as well. What I want to show you is what's going on in Vietnam. I've got a massive deep dive for Vietnam. We just went over Africa. I got another little article here about Africa as well. From what I'm seeing, the governments are starting to really get hooked up with crypto regs and that sort of thing. I want you to see this. So what I like to do is I like to buy crypto that is friendly with regulators, because those are the cryptos that are going to be used. So I want you to think about a crypto or more than one crypto. How often is this crypto interacting with regulators? You know, the different cryptos we buy. I mean, Ripple is like one of the most highly regulated cryptos. They're in all the top meetings. The XRP is in all the top meetings. Today's show, right now, I want you to look at cryptos. Look, the main focus on the crypto should be real world use case. Okay, I don't care personally about trying to make money today, tomorrow. Hey, that stuff's kind of nice. What I'm trying to do, I mean, we have a little fun here and there. I go over crypto. Sometimes you choose to pump, dump it or whatever. Sometimes you make some cash. Sometimes you lose it or whatever. Not me. But today, this show, I want to focus on regulations, cryptos that are in with the regulators. That's what I want. Okay, I'm not going to say that's what we want, because everybody wants different things. I want you to see a crypto or more than one cryptos that are actively working with regulators. XDC crypto, actively working with a depository trust clearing corporation. That's R3 Court is doing that. And R3 is going to use the XDC crypto. That's what we want. Like the DTCC, that's like the highest level out of all these cryptos. And then you got R3 Court platform working with them, and they're using the XDC crypto. And they're going to use a couple of other ones as well. But it's like, that's what we're going to focus on in this show, is who is working with the regulators. We went over Credify and stuff. They're hooked up with Experian, who's hooked up with the regulators. See what I mean? Like, that's why I'm trying to put my crypto, I have it in Caleb Brown, because they're hooked in with Fireblocks. And guess what? They're in with the regulators. See what I mean? Now, in your hardware wallet, there's no regulators there, huh? Yeah. What I'm trying to do, and I got a hardware wallet myself. I keep 25% in it. But what we're going to go over today is, see, I like being near the regulators. So when heads start getting chopped off, I want to look to my right and say, oh, there's BNY Mellon in Fireblocks custody. Oh, look over there. There's Citibank in Fireblocks custody. That's where I want to be when shit starts getting bad. I want to be in a regulated cryptocurrency custodial partnership. That's where I want to be, with Fireblocks, with BNY Mellon. I want to be in the same Fireblocks proprietary custody solution that 2,000 banks and institutions around the world are using. I'm not trying to be in something that the banks are not in. If, everybody's like, not your keys, not your crypto. Hey, look, I'm not knocking it either way. I'm just saying, I got shit in a hardware wallet, 25%. But you know what? I feel better knowing I can see B of A over there, Citibank there, BNY Mellon's behind me. When all this stuff starts going bad, I want to be where the richest banks are. I want to be in the custody solution that the richest banks of the world use. The financial institutions' houses. I want to use the same custody solution they're in. There's a reason why BNY Mellon doesn't have a hardware wallet, like a ledger or something, okay? There's a reason Citibank's not using a bunch of engraves or lapels. And I'm not making fun of that because I got all of them for sale right below this channel. Okay. Hopefully we get to keep them. But that's why I split my crypto. I'm not putting all of it in there. No. So that's what we're discussing today. Let me get here. First 5 people to show: Crypto Greek, Senor Rojo, Mr. OG, Fun, Nessa, XRP, OBD. We got 5 right there. Linda McKinney is in there. XRP, OBD is there. Adelina is there. 46 JDMA. There he is. Then Mr. OG. Robert Bobby Driscoll. Let me take a look. Eric Goldsmith, Jersey Kathy. Everybody hit the like button. The like button. Amber Hobson is here. What's up, peeps? And let's see. Cheeny Lee. Cheeny Lee. I have a phone number here. I want to try to contact you. Hopefully this phone number works. I was super busy today, but you're on my little list right here to call. Let's see. Brennan Moore, Eric Gold, Jen Goldsmith. Do what Jersey Kathy says, please. Hit like button. And let's see. We got Dream 3R. Thanks for the credit entry. Have a drink after the show on me, says Delight Crypto, Texas. I probably am going to have some drinks, just a couple, you know. I mean, it's only Saturday and shit. I've been working like every day. Not a big deal, right? Working like fucking 10 to 12 hours a day on this shit. Not a big deal. Corey Fisher, man, I love this show. He says, Hulk, you're the best. Thanks for all your hard work. I don't know if I'm going to make an AM show. It's possible. I might just say fuck it and drink like tons of alcohol tonight. We'll see. And then back at it tomorrow night at 5. It's possible. It's Sunday, and I've been working under a lot of stress like this past week. A lot of shit went down. Some good stuff and some bad stuff. Okay. Drink up, bub. Yeah, let's go with this article here, Swift. Okay, now, right meow. Let me show you this Swift right here. I get mailings, internet mailings from Swift, so I can keep track of what they're doing. Let's see right here. Let's take a look at the little Swift thing that they sent me. Look right here about ISO 20022. ISO 20022, according to Swift, is an open global standard. Oh, let me say something first before we start with Swift. Swift's not going anywhere. Swift has no intention of going anywhere. Ripple's not taking over Swift. No, it's not going to happen, okay? Ripple, I don't really even see Ripple becoming a bank, honestly. I know they applied for a banking license. Ripple's a software company. And Ripple's the government. I just really don't see these things. November 22nd is when Swift takes off. November 22, 2025 is when this ISO thing. I think what's going to happen is things are going to get real crazy, probably around the world or something. I think the government's going to try to distract all these people and shit like that. Stu Lavelle said, I guess the Cambodians or something blew up a Thailand 7-Eleven. And the violence in Thailand or something starting to get out of hand. I don't know. But we're looking right here at Swift. And this is their newsletter that they gave me. And the cryptos that we know are ISO. Let me find out what cryptos are ISO. Because that shit changes all the time. Give me a minute here. So what we got with Swift is they're letting their customers know. So I registered as a Swift customer. And they gave me this newsletter here. I just wanted to share it with you really quick. There's nothing like groundbreaking that you need to know. But what I wanted to show you is that Swift is adopting the ISO 20022. That's what we needed to look at right here. And they've been kind of putting it off for a while. I think this time they're going to set it off. Swift deals with banking. So if you have a crypto that also deals with banking, that's a good thing. That's why we stick with HBAR, XRP. The ISO 20022. You got Ripple, Stellar, XDC, Algorand, IOTA, HBAR, Quant, Cardano. Those are the ones that are frequently called ISO 20022, meaning more than likely, these are going to be the cryptos that are going to be interacting with the banking system, okay? So people just use the term ISO cryptos or whatever. What it means is these are the cryptos that are going to be interacting with the banks that I just read off. I've got Ripple, XDC, Algorand, HBAR, and that's it. So you don't have to get all of them. One reason why I don't is because the government might confiscate all the ISO cryptos. I'm just telling you, okay? You never know what these governments are going to do. And with these cryptos, the ISOs, they might be deemed systemically important for the entire globe. Do you know how fucked that would be if they like took all of our shit? So these are the ISO cryptos. This is just what I believe. My name is Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. I don't know anything about cryptocurrency. I don't know anything about financial investing. Everything on the show is a lie. I guess at everything that I say. Don't buy anything I tell you to buy, and don't sell anything I tell you to sell. Just sit on your hands and watch the fucking show and don't do anything. All right. Now, today's show, we're kind of coming up for air after deep dives and shit, but we're going to go back down one here in a minute. We're going over some of this. I get a lot of new people all the time, okay? These ISO cryptos that I call them that, I know Grok is like mad at me because he's like, they're not ISO cryptos. And that's fine. I'll keep calling them that anyway. These are cryptos that will work with the financial system. I do not believe that. Now, this is just my opinion. It means nothing at all. I believe these cryptos here will be considered money instruments of some sort. Okay, I don't know the exact term they're going to use. These are not going to be taxable cryptos right here. So in one way, look, I don't have the answers to everything, all right? In one way, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't, in my opinion, buy all these ISOs. Maybe just buy half. Because if you got all your money into ISOs and all the governments around the world, because they're going to be using the ISOs, and if you got these cryptos right here, Ripple, Stellar, XDC, Algorand, IOTA, HBAR, Quant, and Cardano. This is just me, but I would tell my friend, not you, but I would tell my friend, just get half. If you like ISO cryptos, which I do, just get half. Don't buy them all. And here's why. If the governments around the world determine that these ISOs are systemically important for the whole entire world, and that their main function should be security houses, banks, financial institutions, governments, central banks, you're in a world of shit, because they're going to take your shit, all right? And they won't allow it to go anywhere. And they can make a law that says it's a felony to possess any of these cryptos. Oh, shit. So don't put all your money into ISOs. That's what I tell my friend. I'd say just own 3 at the most. I mean, how much? I own Ripple, XDC, Algorand, HBAR. I own 4, and there's 8. I mean, that's why I got rid of Stellar, honestly, because remember how I told you, like, I'd buy Stellar, then sell it off again? Like, I never bought Stellar up until a few months ago, then I sold it and then bought it back again. I don't have it anymore, I don't think. I think I probably sold it off because, look, I didn't want, not that I'm saying things bad about Stellar. It's ISO. It's going to be used in the world banking system and stuff. My concern is I don't want too many of these ISO cryptos. All right. That's just me personally, because if the government, again, determines these are systemically important to the global banking financial system, they might end up just taking them. So that's just my belief. So that's why I don't want Stellar. I got Ripple, XDC, Algorand, HBAR. I'm done. I don't want any more. IOTA, somebody might be like, hey, Crypto Hulk, go to whatever exchange. They got IOTA. I got enough of these ISOs. I don't want any more. Just for that reason. I don't want to overbuy any kind of certain coin. All right. So today's a little strategy day. Scott Allen, thank you very much for that tax-free donation. Scott Allen says, member for 1 month. Appreciate the life-changing information from you and Zoltar. Okay, so these are some of the conversations I'd have with somebody in a $500 club. We would sit down and talk about what cryptos they had, and that would be one of the key pieces of advice to them. Don't overbuy anything at all, number one. Don't put everything in one crypto, number one. Spread it out, 10, 15 of them. Get a few, and that's all, like 3 of your ISO 20022, and don't make that any more than maybe 25%. I mean, maybe 25 to 50% of your total crypto. Don't put all your crypto value into ISOs. At the most, 50%. It'd be better if you did like 30% of all your crypto wealth in ISOs. That way, if the government determines these are systemically important, then again, hey, maybe I'm wrong, right? So I'm just doing what I think is best for me. And there you have it. Rob, best crypto sleuth. No one comes close. Thanks, Hulk. Then you got Amber Hobson. Let's see what the hell Amber Hobson's up to. I'm buying silver next time I get a chunk of change. Thank you for that advice, Hulk. So most of the time I put gold and silver coins under the channel right there on the link. I have a little YouTube store. Lately, I've had some gold, but if you go back a couple episodes, you'll find silver. Those are on the live streams. I have gold and silver coins on the live stream for sale, and then on my short little videos, just wallets. Okay. So Swift, we got that done right there. Let's discuss Africa. Here's an article. It's not that long. I want you to see Africa. For about 5 years, I've gone over crypto, almost nothing on Africa. Guess what? A lot of shit about Africa is now starting to pop up. let's look. Here is this article on Africa. Now, this is from Swift. Now, we did a story on Africa, and I showed you how they're hooking up Africa. HBAR is all up in there, United States Department of State, United States Commerce Department, shit, Europe. There's different companies, there's different agencies getting Africa hooked up, okay? This is a Swift document from July 3rd. It's called Moving from Fragmentation to Interoperability in Africa's Payment System. Interoperability. We know that's Swift. I've already shown you. Let me look this one up real quick again. Here's an article on Thunes Bank, THUNES. Let me tell you, Whipple, when Brad Garlinghouse says Swift's, or they're going to take over Swift or somebody said it's not going to happen because Swift's already using Ripple technology. Thunes enables banks to unlock mobile wallets payment via their existing Swift connectivity. Okay, look, I'm the only one that's been showing you Ripple Singapore since 2014. 11 years ago, I've been showing you this for like 3 years almost now. No other channel has a clue. What we got going on is Swift started using Ripple's wallets, and Ripple had wallets starting around 2012-13. Okay, crypto wallets, downloadable. Okay, if you look back on my show, all the way back in 2022, I want to say October, November, December, and that right in that area, I did a show where I showed you the code. I used my phone. It's probably not the best quality, but I used my phone and showed you all the code of the Ripple wallet. So if somebody's got some time, like, if you got some time, like you're locked up in jail and shit, and you get access to using a computer over there in your celly, then find that video with the code in it and see how good. Get a bigger screen so you can see what the code looks like. All right. What we got here is this. We got Swift working with Thunes. They're using Ripple technology. I'm just telling you how it is, right? I've already shown all the evidence and shit. You've got Swift using crypto like XRP, and they got instant payments. It says right here. Okay, 130 countries. They're using the Thunes Direct Global Networks. They have 3 billion mobile wallets already, and they're hooking up to Swift connectivity. Swift has the XRP ledger, mobile wallets, crypto wallets, and they're using Thunes Bank. Now, Thunes Bank. Now, how does all this happen? Because I don't see a Ripple connection here, Crypto Hulk. Oh, you're going to see one here in about 10 seconds. Because everything I fucking say has evidence. You should know that already. And if you have to challenge me on something, you're going to lose because I always have evidence. And all some of these dumb shits have is their fucking mouth where they suck way too much dick. And that dick went up in his mouth and cut out the circulation on his brain. Okay, what we have here is Thunes. And they partner with who? Adejuwafa Bank. Why is that important? Because Thunes is connected. Third paragraph, first sentence. Thunes is connected to Adejuwafa Bank via Ripple. Oh, shit, Crypto Hulk. Oh, shit. Fuck. What we have here is what I just told you. Thunes Bank is working with Swift. And they have wallets, it said in there. And they have instant payments. And they're working with Swift, it says, and they have 3 billion wallets. Well, we know they're using Ripple because Thunes is partnered up with Adejuwafa, who's a Ripple partner, to get all this shit done. Oh, fuck. Yes, and they're in Morocco. And that's Africa. Now let's read the fucking article on Swift and Africa, okay? right here, moving from fragmentation. The continent has all these countries. That's where the fragmentation is. Just shown you how Swift is already using Ripple, RippleNet, XRP, instant payments. That's what XRP is. Instant payment is XRP. It's not the RippleNet and all that other shit. The on-demand, it's like right now, bam. That's not that RippleNet shit and the XRapid and all that. Okay, this is straight up fucking XRP. Instant payments. That's why Swift's talk about instant payments, because Swift with Thunes, and Thunes has instant payments, and Thunes is working with Adijarafa, and Adijarafa is a Ripple partner. That's where it all comes together. And they did this Adijarafa out of Moroccan bank, and guess what? That's in Africa. And this article here, guess what? It's about Africa and Swift. Swift data shows that between 2018 and last year, Africa's payments using like crypto increased by more than 8% a year. Now it's 57% greater. The payments trap. It means there's more payments being made in Africa, and it's due to this Swift and the crypto use. In the area of payments, the opportunities for Africa are vast. Yet, these are accompanied by challenges. Pressures include those stemming from the complexities of its financial infrastructure. You see, here's the deal. Ripple was made to reach the unbanked. Ripple was made to get the friction out of payments. This is the whole perfect use case. This is what Ripple's for. All these little countries in Africa that they got their rules and they got their rules and they use their money and they use their different kind of money. That's where all the interoperability comes in. Are you seeing this now? Why it makes sense? Ripple's designed is a software company designed to allow payments faster in banks. They're not trying to be a bank. So part of me is kind of like, I don't know why Ripple's trying to be a bank. It's not making sense to me whatsoever. Ripple's a software company. Ripple came from the government. Ripple is trying to solve all the cross-border problems in the whole entire world. And that's what this article's about here. Swift, we already read about Adijarafa Bank and Thunes and Ripple and all that stuff and the wallets. We got all that. And that's what Swift is talking about now. They're hooking up African countries as we speak. And what did I tell you? When Africa's hooked up, that's when we get rich, because they're all done. We're all done. Like the most fragmented continent in the world is Africa. That's the very last one. When Africa gets hooked up, I mean, think about it. You got a continent with like 50 different countries, and some of these countries hate each other, and they're trying to kill each other, okay? When you get that country, that continent, all using Ripple, they can all have their own money. That's why nothing's going to replace the dollar, because Nairobi doesn't want to use fucking another country, South Africa's money. And Ghana doesn't want to use another African country. They all want to use their own money. Get it? That's why Ripple comes in. And this whole Bitcoin thing, that shit ain't going to work in Africa. No, like, again, no one wants to have Bitcoin replace their national money. That ain't going to work. Nobody wants to be dependent. What if the Bitcoin system crashes and everybody's fucked, right? These countries, this is what Swift is doing, solving fractured payments. Every country's using something different. Well, guess what? If they all hook up with Ripple, then they can all continue to use their own money. That's the beauty of the XRP ledger. You can have your money in Nairobi, back it with gold, tokenize it, and put it in your vaults. And now your token, I could get a Nairobi dollar to pay somebody. Why? Because it's backed. You see what I mean? That's how all this Bitcoin shit is not backed. Bitcoin is a complete disaster. One day people look, I'm just telling you, I'm the fortune teller right here, and I'm just letting you know. If it's not backed, it's not going to work in the future. I don't care how much it goes to, $1 million right now, whatever. Hey, one of these days, it ain't going to be worth shit because it's not backed by anything. Let's continue. Swift Connect Africa provides a forum for collaboration between Africa's payment experts. In May, the industry convened in Dakar, Senegal, for the event's latest iteration under the theme of Connecting Africa and the Future of Finance. I want you guys to see all this because we're going to be coming up. I'm just letting you know, we've already done it now. We're going to be coming up with cryptos out of Africa. And some of these are going to be worth 0.00 whatever cents. I want you to understand the shit that I'm teaching you today. I know we're not seeing green candles and fireworks today, but what I'm going to start doing is, because this is going to come up, there's going to be African cryptos. We've already gone over some. We've already gone over some of these African cryptos. There's going to be way, way more. As these African countries get hooked up, there's going to be crypto opportunity. So that's why we go over some of these African fintech companies and the MTech and that, HBAR and shit's working with all them. And oh yeah, I got some more stuff here too today about Vietnam. So let me scroll through this article. I'm going to cherry pick the article. There were also lively discussions on mobile money and digital payments, future-proofing the ecosystem. The breadth of subjects reflected the level of activity with Africa's rapidly evolving payment sector. So I'm telling you what, okay, we are going to find African fintechs popping up, and they're going to end up having a crypto, and I'm going to let you know when they're 0.00003 cents or something, okay? Then all of a sudden, you're going to want in on that shit with 3 or 4 zeros. Oh, yeah, Crypto Hulk. Yeah, you were talking about all that African stuff and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm watching close every day. I'm waiting for a brand new African crypto company to come out. Why? Because I'm going to go look for the crypto, and I'm going to tell you guys, all right? That's what is on my radar now. That's why we're talking about Africa, not for the fuck of it, is because there's going to be new crypto companies, fintech companies coming out that you've never heard of, but then Crypto Hulk's going to tell you which ones they are. Hey, this one here's got 4 zeros. It's out of Nairobi. See all that shit? Africa hasn't even taken off yet. You know why that's good? Because there's going to be lots and lots of zeros before the numbers. That's how we get rich quick, okay? Or at least that's how we do some pump shit and make a few thousand bucks in a day, all right? Let me just continue cherry picking really quick. Addressing fragmentation. When something's fragmented, it's all broken up into pieces. That's Africa's payment system. It's all kinds of fucked up. That's where crypto comes in to fix it. And if a particular crypto project fixes a problem, that's where we make money, you see? So what I'll do is I'm reading the Swift article to you talking about how Swift is hooking up African countries and banks, and they're going to need fintech help. They're going to need African fintech help. And what I'm going to do is find out what companies there are and tell you, and we'll have a pump show and you'll make money on them, okay? And some of these you'll want to buy and keep because you're getting in with all these zeros. That's what you want. See, it's good and it's bad, all right? Some of you are bitching, oh, these cryptos are just 0.003 cents. I can't get rich off that. Well, right now you can't. But when they go to $1 and you spent $50 or $100 and you bought 1.5 million of them, think when they go to $1. Oh, shit, you just made $1.5 million off a $100 investment. You're going to go down in your history as a fucking legend. You're going to be that Uncle Larry who was probably good for nothing, but he sure turned $100 into $1 million. Let me look here. Collaboration for harmonization. They're collaborating. Swift is collaborating. It's talked about in different countries in Africa. They're getting them hooked up. They're moving these African banks and payment systems into the ISO 20022. Africa's ecosystem covers 54 countries. So they have 54 countries in Africa. They have 30 instant payment systems in Africa. A large population of Africa is unbanked. They don't have a bank account. So what we're going to find in Africa, like we looked at, are credit unions. Remember that one crypto works with credit unions and what they call cooperatives. So very small financial institutions. You're not going to find like B of A and Wells Fargo out there in the middle of the desert and shit like that. So you're going to find little credit unions and cooperatives. Digital payments. Okay, that's the end of that Swift article on Africa. Let me check some questions. We'll go to the next article here. Mr. OG says this, because 89% of transactions are done via bank-to-bank transfer in Nigeria. They got cell phones. All right. All right, let me look. Vietnam. Let's go over the article. I did a deep dive on Vietnam. It took me like, I think, an hour and a half at least. I didn't strike gold. What I did in Vietnam is show you how Vietnam's very closely tied to China. So here's an article here. Let me try to find it again. Okay, Vietnam deploys a national blockchain for identity and records. Now, this is very interesting. What I want you to see here is this is how we get all the crypto rolled out. Everybody's going to have a cell phone. Ripple invented all the crypto wallets. Ripple and 21 other countries made digital IDs. Let me show you this article again. Copy and paste. There we go with that. Okay, I'm just going to put this article out here first so I can establish a fact, and then we can move on. Here we go. Here is 2014. This is a Ripple page article from 11 years ago, and the title is A New Digital Framework for Digital ID. There you go right here. Ripple, MIT, where Gary Gensler came from, and other people. There's 21 companies. One of them is called ID3. What did they do? They made a new digital framework for digital ID. That's what's going on right now. They didn't implement all this. They've been waiting here for like 9 years or something like that, 10 years for this shit to happen, okay? It's all being started right now. It's Ripple and the others. So now I can get on with this Vietnam article and show you that all this shit comes from Ripple with all the interoperability and all that. Look, you got to be identified when you have crypto. When you go buy crypto, they'll have things where maybe an app will make you do a selfie. We've already done some of that already. So there's going to be times where everything you got to sign up at all these crypto things, selfies. I'm telling you, all this facial ID, iris scan. You're going to have to do one of these real close and shit like that. All right. Vietnam will use something called NDA chain, Nancy Delta Alpha chain network, to power a decentralized identity solution that allows digital contract signing and counterparty verification. It's all coming, everybody. Vietnam launched a national blockchain platform designed to serve as the backbone, here we go, for its expanding digital ecosystem. And I'll use the term crypto ecosystem, okay? That's what they don't want to use. They don't want to show you what's coming. They want to show you information, but have you not really understand exactly what's coming. That's my job. They're getting ready to use cryptocurrencies all around the world. You got to have digital IDs. On Friday, Vietnam announced the state-run blockchain network. So it's ran completely by the government. If you're in Vietnam, you will have to use that government system. That's how they're going to cut down on all the rug pulls and all the dumb shit, okay? This state-run blockchain, which will verify digital transactions and record records across different sectors. The government's going to know everything that's going on. Vietnam is in bed with the communist Chinese, okay? Just let you know. The new platform is called the NDA chain. It was developed by the country's National Data Association. And it'll be operated by the government, the Ministry of Public Security. Oh, God, yes, public security. So let me tell you something. I got good and bad. In the future, they're getting rid of all the rug pulls, people stealing wallets out of people's wallets. All this shit's going to go bye-bye. All this stuff is going to be gone. But you're going to have to give up some freedom for that. You're going to have your face, your location tracked, and all these. If something would ever happen and somebody says, oh, you stole my crypto and da-da-da, guess what? You might have a chip. I mean, I hate to say it because I know where all this stuff ends up in slavery, okay? But there might be a day where if you have a chip installed inside of you, and I'm not selling this used car, okay? I'm not selling a used car. I'm just saying, in the future, if you're chipped, and then if someone says, oh, Crypto Hulk stole my shit last week, what if that microchip shows me in Hawaii? Because I'm tracked due to my phone because the fucking chip's in my neck or whatever, right? Then that motherfucker's going to jail for false claims. I mean, that's how this crypto is going to help you and hurt you. Now, the other bad part is now the government's got me tracked everywhere I go. But there ain't no way someone's saying, oh, Crypto Hulk did this or Crypto Hulk did that. My microchip shows me in Hawaii, asshole. You're in Florida when the shit happened. How the fuck does that happen? Well, I don't know. It looked like you. You know what? Go back and keep sucking dicks like you normally do, okay? So that's what's happening here is their national public security data innovation. Oh, God, it's a slave system, okay? And it's going to be good and bad. So it's going to cut down on cyber attacks and all these kinds of things, what it's saying right here. And it's a centralized exchange. So it's not like it's anonymous. Like when you guys buy shit on Uniswap, nobody knows who you are, right? So it's like there's no KYC. I can go on Uniswap, buy some shit, no one even knows who it is. Those days are going to end. I'm just letting you know. We are in a very short period of time. When you get in a $500 group, when we start booking it and moving and grooving, and I call you before, say, hey, this is the crypto that we're going to have or whatever. Because these days are going to end. I don't know when, but sooner or later, they're getting rid of all this KYC shit, all right? So, I mean, they're going to have all the KYC, all this anonymous stuff you guys are doing, not going to happen. And I say you guys, because I'm not buying this stuff. I'm not going to get in the doghouse with Caitlin Brown, so I'm not buying shit, all right? So that's why I say you guys. NDA chain, that's the name of this. How much time do I got? Because I want to make sure. 15 minutes. Okay, I'm going to show you. I did a deep dive on all this Vietnam. NDA chain was developed by the government. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cherry pick this. So there's going to be times where I'm quiet because I got limited time right now. I got 15 minutes, and I got to burn through a lot of shit. It would take me an hour to really go through the rest of this. So I'm going to save you the pain, and I'm just going to highlight shit that I noticed. So it's going to get a little quiet while I'm reading. There's something called Zallo Pay. this VNG. So the Vietnamese government is using a company called, there's about 5 of them. Sun Group Sun Group is one, because I looked at who's helping Vietnam do this shit. And you got 5 companies here: Sun Group, VNG Corporation, Masan Group, MASAN Group, and then MISA, MISA JSC. Now, I didn't have time to look all of them up. VNG Group right here, it's a major tech and fintech company focused on digital payments and online platforms. So what I did, and then there's a couple other ones here too, is I decided to do a background on the VNG Group. So I looked up Sun Group, didn't really find much. I got a history on who made it and all these things. What's interesting is Sun Group. Now, remember, these are 4 or 5. These companies, I'll read off the companies' names again. These are the 5 companies. I'm sure they love me broadcasting all this. Vietnam is using 5 companies, and Ripple's not one of them, although the technology is probably there. The names are Sun Group, VNG Corporation, Masan Group, MISA JSC, Sovixio Group, and then VNVC, which is a healthcare company. So you got 5 companies helping the Vietnamese government come up with a crypto platform, okay? The first one is called Sun Group, and this is tied to like, these are very rich people. Vietnamese entrepreneurs, and they mainly lived in the Soviet Union. Okay. Particularly Ukraine. That got my interest. I'm like, what? But yeah, this group here, this company was located in Ukraine and Russia. And right now, the same company is the one helping the Vietnamese government with crypto. Now, it makes sense because the Ripple, I can't get into it now, but I already showed you back in 2014, we had something called Ripple Russia, okay? Didn't put enough water in there, fuck. But this company was in Russia, and they encouraged tourism, and they were very, very wealthy. They did a lot of business deals there. That Sun Group, they helped make the crypto platform. Now let's go to the next one. VNG Corporation. They helped the Vietnamese government come up with their crypto platform. Now, VNG Corporation has something called Zalo Pay, ZALO, and then capital PAY. One word. It's a mobile wallet integrated with banking and other digital platforms. I looked for a crypto. There is none with that. And yeah, they launched in 2012, Zalo Pay. It became a unicorn, actually got pretty big. Now, NDA chain that the Vietnamese launched July, so it's just this year. It's a layer 1 network, proof of authority. And it deals with digital contract signing, counterparty verification, identity solutions, these kinds of things. It's to basically control everybody and keep track of where everybody's at. A payment network, right? So then I looked up Zalo Pay, and it came out in 2017. They got QR codes and that. Zallo Pay is used as an on and off ramp for buying. So if you want to buy crypto and shit like that, you'd use like Zallo Pay. Now, Zallo Pay operated from a company called Zion, Z-I-O-N, Joint Stock Company. And when I hear that, I'm thinking Israel. And we all know that Ripple made Israel's crypto back in 2013 as well. I didn't do a deep dive on the Zion Joint Stock Company, but I'll bet you there's got to be something Jewish or something in there. So the Israelis have their hands in this one. I could be wrong, but I didn't have time to look that up. Now, Zion started Zallo Pay, and they were focused on mobile payments. The State Bank of Vietnam, the State Bank of Vietnam is mixed up with Zallo Pay. They're all registered. Now, who's involved with VNG Bank? Here we go. Is Tencent Holding. Tencent. Now, I have a page up here. Tencent Holding. That's Ripple with okay, I can't show. Okay, I'll show you this timeline. I'm going to take a picture and send it to you, to my videos. Give me just a quick second. So here's the Ripple and China connection here. Because I know none of this shit's happening without Ripple. Okay, I just sent it. It's going to post. What we're looking at here is we know that Vietnam came up with a payments platform, and they're trying to hide it really good. Unfortunately, they got Crypto Hulk looking for shit, and I'm going to find it. Give me enough time and I can find it. What I found out was this, that Vietnam is using this company called VNG. VNG is using a company called Zallo Pay, and Zallo Pay was made by some Zion, whatever the fuck it was, okay? Now, VNG is working with Tencent, and that picture that I just showed you right here shows the Ripple China timeline. I have highlighted 2013. Why? Because Ripple was working with Alipay and TenPay. And guess what? TenPay is a payment for China. And guess what? Tencent is one of the biggest companies in the world, one of the biggest communist countries in the world, called Tencent, which has something called TenPay. And we're looking at right here, Tencent Holdings is a part of VNG, who is helping the Vietnamese government make their payment system. That's Ripple China right there. Temasek, I believe, is a Ripple partner. Let me take a quick look. I know that name's familiar. Singapore has a bank called Temasek, and we all know that Ripple is a partner of Ripple Singapore. So Temasek, since it has like investments and shit, you're probably dealing with XDC, which is that comes out of China. The origins of XDC and the XDC Foundation shit, that's Chinese. I didn't pop that article, but we already know it's China because of the 10-cent holdings. And then Temasek. Now, guess who else is involved? Goldman Sachs. Here's your other Ripple connection. Let me show you this right now. Right meow. Here we go. I called this the Ripple yearbook because it has a lot of the pictures of the Ripple employees from 2014. More importantly, what I'm going to show you here is the Ripple and Goldman Sachs connection. Go to the video I just sent you. Go to the 21-second mark. 21-second mark. What do you see? Ripple Labs. Underneath that, meet the team. What are the team members? Right there. One of them is Goldman Sachs. Ta-da! There's your connection to Ripple. See, Vietnam ain't doing this shit without Ripple and XDC. I already fucking know. Here's all the evidence right here. These little sneaky bastards, these little Vietnamese sneaky bastards, I got them. Goldman Sachs, which is Ripple. Temasek, which is a Singapore holding company. That's Ripple Singapore. Then you got Tencent. Well, that's TenPay, which is partnered with Alipay, which is Alibaba, and all that shit's Ripple from Ripple China, because no other fucking channel has the evidence like I got. Okay. Now, if we look down here, oh look, Visa's involved with ZalloPay. Isn't that interesting? Visa. Let's look at the Visa connections with Ripple right here. Visa invests $250 million and buys a Ripple-based company. Here's your evidence for that right here. And then lastly, Visa spends almost $1 billion on a Ripple technology company so they can utilize all the Ripple technology they need. These are your Visa connections to Ripple, and they're working with VNG, who's working for the Vietnamese government to make a crypto platform. Imagine that. What a fucking coincidence, huh? Now you got the Chubb Group, CHUBB. No, it's not the chubby you get in your pants down south, but nonetheless, Chubb Group is a very powerful company. Lastly, let's see if I got anything else. Yeah, I did look up the Zion company, Zion JSC, and there's really not a strong crypto connection to that company. But what you do have, they do have connections to Binance, Bybit, Galaxy, maybe they're a payments. They help facilitate payments to these platforms. Now they have a joint venture with the Blockchain Center Abu Dhabi. So, and you know Abu Dhabi's all about Ripple. So none of this is a fucking surprise. The evidence that I found here. Okay, that's good enough. Where are we at as far as time? 2 minutes. Okay, let me check the comments here, and then I'll make a final statement. Hulk needs more necklace. No, this is the biggest necklace I can get without it looking silly. Like in real life, this chain doesn't look as big as it is. Now, when I put this chain on my brother, it looked ridiculous. I'm about 290 pounds, so the chain fits with my height and stuff. But this kind of chain on somebody who's 180, it'll make you look like a Mr. T wannabe. So, okay, let me check these comments again. ZalloPay is in partnership with Ant Corporation, Jack Ma. ZalloPay is partnership with Ant Corporation, Jack Ma. So Ant is with Ant Pay. So again, we look back at the evidence from Crypto Hulk. We got Alipay, which is from Alibaba. And I think they're a division of Ant Financial, maybe. So they're all related. It's all Ripple China, 2013, with TenPay and Alipay. They were all using Ripple Pay like 12 years ago. Like I said, all this shit has already been done and already. Like I have the evidence here. It's not my comment or whatever. It's just I'm stating fact. So 12 years ago, Ripple's in China, hooked up Alibaba, which is Alipay, hooked up Tencent, which is Tenpay. And right now, nobody has a fucking clue except you guys, okay? We got Goldman Sachs mixed up in all this. It's a Ripple partner, Visa, and Temasek. So there you go. So what we saw is, again, Vietnam coming out with a payment system that's blockchain. We have Vietnam not telling who helped them make it, but you got me. You got Crypto Hulk, who spent like at least 2 hours on this, trying to locate who's doing what, maybe 2 to 3, just to put this portion together. It's a lot of fucking work. I didn't find a whole lot of gold, but I did. But it's just like this. I don't have to come up with 10 cryptos. I came up with how Vietnam's doing this. It's Ripple. I'm going to say R3 Corda, which is the XDC crypto. Goldman Sachs, which is a Ripple partner. Temasek, which is Ripple Singapore, is drawn into this. And Ripple Singapore, they had the buying and the selling and the trading and shit. So you're going to have R3 XDC with that. That is your connection with Vietnam. They tried to hide it really good, I have to admit, but I still was able to find out most of it right there. I'd like to know personally, is HBAR mixed up in this? Maybe at a later point, HBAR comes in. That's what I believe. Maybe once they get all the stuff done, they got this blockchain shit going, then they bring in HBAR at the end and do the other stuff. More of the DeFi Web3 kind of shit. That's what I think. Somebody else comes in later and does that. So that's your deep dive. I'm going to head out of here, 6:00 p.m. and it's Saturday. And I think I'm going to get some tequila going here at the house. And I'll see y'all in the next one. I don't know. If I drink too much, I ain't doing a Sunday morning show because I got to be at the gym at like 9 o'clock. I'll be at the gym at 9, and then I'll have to work in the afternoon and have a show by 5 p.m. It depends if that alcohol gets ahead of me and gets out of control, then that's it. I'll see you.